let's see here with some more Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition PK Player Killer Clans tournament matches to cast. So, yep, I figured we ought to speed this up a little bit more than the normal speed that we normally do, since we gotta get ready for the Phase 2 games, which will probably be starting to be scheduled anytime, probably today, tomorrow, the next day, and so forth. So, yeah, I just figured we'd catch up on that a bit. Use these weekend nights to do so instead of me publishing just random videos. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. Just sharing the Discord servers the link so they can come on and join if they want to see it live. If not, they can watch it later. Yeah. So hopefully you're all having a good weekend so far. I certainly am. And we're gonna get to watch some more good recordings again and again and again until I get through these things. And definitely want to, if I can wrap them up before Tuesday when we have to do the Macedon Chronicles DLC gameplay, that'd be great. If not, we can do it afterwards, which is cool too. So, yeah. Anyways, here we are. And we'll be ready to start them rather soon. So, stay tight, ready for it. Yeah, I can yap it to you, by the way, while I do it. So, yeah, it was a bit of an idea I had tonight, and especially after hearing that announcement, I was like, oh man, we definitely need to speed through these things, because I don't want to still be doing Phase 1 when everybody's already looking at the Phase 2 stuff, so gotta catch up a little bit faster, a little more rapido. See, I can imagine how many recordings that's going to produce, because if I recall correctly, those series are going to be best out of 3. So, potentially looking at triple the games we have now. Well, it really depends. I mean, obviously, some of the players that were in the first phase, including me, are no longer there, so that part will reduce it a little bit. But other than that, it's probably like, there's a chance that it could be bigger. I don't know. Let's do the math. So, if they got rid of like 20 or 30 or so people, but everybody produces 2 more games, that's a good math question to ask. Yeah, I mean, obviously we want more matches. That's what I think we all want. That's usually what I look forward to, is more matches. Because as long as you have matches, you eat, basically. Like, your channel eats, you get to keep viewers coming in and watching stuff. So I want more recordings to happen. I want you to keep producing more and more material for me to see. That would be great. I'd mostly appreciate it. Yeah. So, yeah. This should be quite fun. I'm looking forward to it. Last night was pretty good, don't you think? Yeah, I mean, we had some good games last night, I think. So, I'll be able to do them as long as I can tonight, and then we'll just pick up with it tomorrow. I don't know if we'll do more on Monday. I don't know if I'll be in the mood to do more on Monday at this point, because that'd be 3 days straight of casting PK Tournament, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I can, I don't know. But we'll definitely get all these done, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all, actually. I will make sure I do every single one that I find, and if I don't do one, definitely let me know, and I'll dedicate a video to it or something. So, yeah. No recording ignored is what I like to usually do when it comes to this YouTube. I always make sure every AW3D recording you give me, I try to do it at some point, and if I forget, just give me a nudge and I'll do it. Don't be a stranger. I'm always listening. Yeah. Alright, so, yep, definitely. Also, the other reason why I wanted to cast these tonight is because my day of recording was not that good. I mean, I felt like everything I tried to record came out kind of low quality, except for a few Budokais, so I was like, do I really want to submit this and some old stuff, or do I just want to stream more PK tournament stuff, since people like that sort of thing? I thought the PK tournament's probably a better use of time, honestly, so yeah, may as well just do that then. Yeah, absolutely. Alright, so we are still going through those Discord servers. I'm almost done though, so just give me a few more moments and we should be ready to go. I did set it on the next recording that we're on in the list, so definitely not losing time there at all, luckily. Yeah, I make sure for these ones that I do a little bit of extra homework and make sure that I actually find the one that we're on ahead of time, as well as downloading any ones that I missed, which there actually was a few. I think today I download about 5 or 6 or 7 more recordings actually, and that should be the end of the stack. Once we're done with those, then we should be ready for Phase 2 PK Tournament Best Out of 3s to look at. Now, how we do that one, I'll do this. I'll ensure that I always get every best out of 3 done that I can. So, if we are on a stream, right, and I know I'm getting close to the time that I need to leave, I'm going to make sure I get that whole best out of 3 series done, regardless, so you don't get stuck on a cliffhanger of how that series went. So, yeah, I'll make sure to time it out, so I always end the stream at the end of a best out 3 that I'm going over and not in the middle of one. So you're like, oh, I wonder how such and such did in their third game. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that to you. Or their second game. Yeah, definitely. I usually try to, if you remember correctly from my Wars of Liberty tournament coverage, try to do them all if possible. But if that's not possible, then yeah, I'll at least make sure that I get the best out of series that I'm on completely cleaned up and scrubbed out. Yeah, definitely. So, alright, anyways, just going through one more Discord server and then we can start. Also, do I sound a bit froggy today? What's going on with my vocal cords? I don't know. Something's going on. I have no idea. Yeah. Anyways, we're ready now. Let me get the game on here. I believe it's this one. Let me just double check. I want to make sure that we're on the right one. Milk and Honey. Milk and Honey versus Castle. Any other Milk and Honeys here? I mean, Milk and Honey is delicious. Don't get me wrong. It's sweet and very nutritious, full of calcium. It's like Milk and Honey versus... that's why I remember. It was some other Chinese character name that I didn't know. So, we're going to be doing Milk and Honey versus some random Chinese dude because I don't know how to read Chinese. Alright? Let's do it. Let's look at this first game for tonight. See how it is. Okay, here we are with Milk and Honey as the Ottomans against Ethiopian feller over there. So, Ottomans this time are in this corner, and the Ethiopia is in this corner. So, starting another stream with the Ottomans again. Boy, do people love playing the Ottomans in this tournament. I say that all the time, and I'm going to keep saying it because it keeps proving itself time and time again. So, why do people always pick the Ottomans? It's pretty simple. They got a very solid starting build here. You build a trading post up, you build a mosque, then you chop a bit for your house or find a good treasure to get that done, and basically you got yourself a recipe for very powerful shipments. Yeah, Ottoman shipments, of their units especially, very powerful, very influential. You know, Janissaries, Abbas gunners, Falconets, Safahis, Mamluks. Ottomans rarely live on their unit shipments, so the best way that they can make it work, get as much XP as possible. Obviously, on the Great Plains trade route, you're going to get a whopping 69 XP per delivery. And then you get a trickle of 0.8 per second XP trickle at the mosque as well. And when you combine both of those together, your shipment timing as the Ottomans is going to be really good. Very good. So what we see right away developing is this Ottoman is going what we call naked fast fortress, which means they're going straight up to age 3 without stopping. And you can usually tell that because one thing that an Ottoman player will do is go straight where capitalism is card number 1. It's a gold trickle. Basically the idea is skip the villager card, go right for the gold trickle. So by the time you're ready to go to age 2 and you arrive in age 2, you're going to have that 300 or so gold ready to go to combine with your 700 gold shipment to reach that 1,000 requirement to go to age 3. And that's basically the essence of that. Now, you do get a little bit short-chumped on food, obviously, because, well, simply put, you're missing those 3 villagers, but at the very least, your gold is already figured out, and you can just leave those settlers on top of the food the whole entire time, which is something, you know, with other civs you can struggle with a bit, because you have to decide, okay, when is it time to move over on the gold, or do I stay on the food? Admins make it a bit easier for you. I mean, they make it already pretty easy enough because their town centers give you free villagers, of course, but they make it a little bit easier by going with the gold trickle first, pretty much. So, yeah. So, what is the Ethiopia up to? Let's get over to them and not ignore them too long. So, the Ethiopia, do we know what he's running? It's a Chinese character, so I don't know what this deck means, but looks pretty basic. Basically, you start with Trinity here, this card. It's an infinite card, so you can send it as many times as you need. It gives you 2 villagers and a bun. It's a priest that can heal your troops, obviously. He can also gather from a mound monastery. A mound monastery, very important structure for Ethiopia. It allows you to collect gold, allows you to collect influence in a combination that you get to determine and configure at the building. So you can, I believe, get all gold if you want. You can get half and half, or you can get a bigger portion of influence. It all depends on what sort of strategy you want to go with, basically. Yeah. And another thing you'll notice here is these little structures called granaries. They're basically free buildings. They're free. Nothing in life is free. That's what your parents told you, but these things are actually free. What they do is they boost the hunting rate of your villagers nearby when they're gathering food. So that's pretty good, you know, when you're trying to hunt an animal, make sure that the granary is nearby. Not only does it improve the gather rate, it actually lures the huntables towards the building. So if you have a granary here, these bison are eventually going to walk over here and go around the fence of this thing, so you don't have to do any crazy stuff to hunt as much. He's making it even easier by herding the huntables right into the granary. So the animals are right here, they see it, and they want to go to it eventually. And though when you do shoot an animal, it is going to scatter off eventually, it will most likely come back as long as you're not doing anything too crazy with the hunt management. So yeah, they have aged up right now with... Who'd they age up with exactly? I wasn't even checking. Definitely wasn't the Jesuits this time, because I don't see any sort of church structure here. So we'll find out soon enough what they ended up going with for an alliance. And Ottomans... They're going age 3 now, right? So they went with their 700 coin first. Then they're going to go with the 700 wood. So when you're going for a naked fast fortress, the gold is the biggest priority. Get the gold first, then you can ship the wood in next, pretty much, to get your infrastructure. Yeah, if you're going for more of a semi-fast fortress, you would send the wood first, get your buildings established, maybe make some military, and then do the age 3 age up when it's most convenient. With Ottomans, it can be very powerful just to go straight up to age 3 like he's doing right here, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going straight up with the marksman. That's a very powerful politician option, gives you about 4 free abyss gunners. Very powerful skirmisher, it does crush damage. Very, very strong unit. So right out of the gate he's got 4 abyss gunners and probably one of these powerful shipments here ready to go. Most likely it's going to be Savahi, Falconet, or Mamluk, depending on what resources he has. This deck also gives him the possibility of going for a fast industrial. Could do that as well. It all depends on what the Ethiopia's doing and his odds of being able to squeegee by and get that done. If an Ottoman can pull off a fast industrial, they're going to do it. And it's even more dangerous because it has the great bombards involved. They got factories. And also with that factory resource income, they can use the discount provided by Moss Construction to basically get all the royal decrees done, which for the Ottomans, they deliver units, very powerful units, and they upgrade those units too. So yeah, very significant stuff. What is Ethiopia's plan though? Alright, so he's going Safahi first, it looks like. powerful cavalry, does splash damage, has a lot of HP and attack. It can also regenerate when it's idle and not fighting, so yep, it can have some long life to it too if you want. Alright, so the Ethiopia right now has a palace set up over here. This defensive structure is basically going to protect the front of the base pretty much, as well as being able to let you train special units pretty much when you get through your alliances for the most part, as well as your artillery, like the Sevastopol, big giant mortar. Yeah, so do we really know what the Ethiopia is up to yet? Not sure, but notice here that you can see the configuration for the monasteries. So right now, this Ethiopia has it set to all gold, no influence. So he's completely not getting any influence at all. He's just going straight up for gold. He's got a big problem though. He's got 5 Safahis coming in here with their splash attack, and then the Abyss Gunners. These Safahis can be a real danger to his villagers if he gets caught up in them, so he's probably going to be stuck in his TC for a while until they are dealt with in some way or fashion. Alright, so a vill did fall up there, unfortunately. Oh, these are walking right into a death trap. Whoa, look at that. Oh, no. Yeah, that happens. Happens to the best of us. So, yep. Unfortunately, took 3 casualties there. If he's not careful, he will probably take more casualties. So, just be aware of that. Now, I do like that Ethiopia decided to grab the second train post up there. It's one less XP source that the Ottomans can grab. So, it might stall you a bit of time and a bit of trouble. But you know what trouble is? That. Wow. Good job. Oh, even saved that one. That's really good. I mean, win without any casualties out there at all. Try to protect the priests as well if you can, these Abuns. Because those Abuns are needed to grab the resources from these monasteries. Looks like he went up to H3 as well. Got a nice arsenal there. Losing that wagon, that's totally alright. You got enough mounted monsters to get by, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. Looks like these Abyss and Safahis are a big concern still. Going for the veteran upgrade on the infantry and shipping in 9 Gascanyas. Gascanyas are Ethiopian musketeers, but here's the thing, they don't use a musket, they throw spears at you, so they're spearketeers, I guess. Overall, the big thing between them and the normal musket is the fact that they cost wood instead of gold. So, if you don't have any gold, they do count as a trash unit. Yeah. Statistically, they're very strong. I mean, 30 damage, that's pretty good. They actually have 13 range. So they actually have 1 more range than the standard musket does, which is usually 12. Not bad. Also going to be making some Chotel warriors. The Chotel warriors in this case will be great against the Abyss Gunners because they're essentially what we call shock infantry. So they're actually hand cavalry. A very light form of hand cavalry on foot. They even have a multiplier against skirmishers. This light infantry multiplier there is against skirmish units. Alright, he's also shipping in the 8 shipment of Gascanyas. So he's basically stacking a ton of unit shipments in H3. Now, the problem is, the Ottoman did end up going fast industrial, because we can see the Age 4 coming in right here with the Grand Vizier. This is the politician you're always going to go with if you're doing a fast industrial, mainly because it gives you more of these Safahis. It gives you, I believe, about 3 or 4 of them, so even bigger stack of these nasty heavy cav units. Now, let's check the home city and see what his plan is. So, he has not gotten mosque construction or the royal decree yet. I can't say for certain what his plan's going to be. Now, he's going to have to defend. The Ethiopia is on his toes, and he's actually going to rush this guy, so he can't come up with a real nasty plan to hurt him. He's going to take the fight to him right away. First thing, get the mosque down. That's a really nice way to really make the Ottoman player very angry, because he needs that mosque to actually complete the royal decree text later on. So he's going to have to rebuild that thing now. So, looks like Ottoman does have 2 town centers here to defend with. He's biding his time to decide when to attack. So, what he's going to do is, he's going to wait for his big Safahi shipment to arrive, the 6 Safahi shipment in H4, and then he's going to go in to try to mash all these guys with their maces. notice how the Safahi shadow techs, meaning he upgrades automatically with each age, so you don't have to spend a whopping amount of wood and gold to keep them upgraded and such. So the Safahis spring at the right moment there, catching all the Chotel warriors and destroying them, and now the Abbots are going to come from the side too and aid the Safahis in taking out the Giskenyas. Alright, so it looks like this attack attempt by Ethiopia was totally squashed, and the Ethiopia capitulated. He couldn't fight anymore after that. That was a solid timing defense by the Ottoman player. He basically said, you know, I'm not going to go in there and be dumb and waste all my cavalry. I'm going to wait till the shipment arrives, and then I'm going to spring on him right in that second and then just pounce on him, and it worked perfectly. Good move there. I like that. So these are some basic stats, and we're going to go into the next one now. We got a ton of recordings to do, so I'm just going to keep moving along right here. Scrolling through all my wonderful recordings that I've been killing on for the past 3 years. Wow. I don't think you expected me to have that many, right? Nope, but I do. Alright, so we're going down here. Just gotta pay attention. Which one are we on? I think this is a duplicate, right? Let me make sure. That might be a duplicate there. Yes, it is. I can actually see it right up there, actually. So, this is also a duplicate. We saw this one, remember? We saw Julian K going Russians against Moon as the Brits. We saw that one, too. Right, so, this one... Have we seen this one before? Let me make sure if I have or I haven't. Let's look for Xbox. Yeah, I always like to make sure 100% because I don't want to recover things that I've already done with you. Because you might be like, hey, we already did that one. I don't want to waste my time looking at that one again. And I totally understand that. So that's why I use my attention to detail and make sure we don't basically repeat anyone's. And so let's go back here. So Yukieti. It's ones where Xbox is written on the right side of the recording. Yeah. I think we're okay. I think we're alright. Actually. We're A-okay here. Alright, let's, load it in then. This one, right? Milk and I. This one. Alright, here we go. Let's run this one now. Okay, so the Chinese filler is running the Ottomans, right? And Xbox is running the Chinese. Alright, so we got China versus Ottoman. And we've seen quite a few of these lately. From what I can tell you, running China against Ottomans, bad idea. Very bad idea. It's a horrible idea, actually. Because every instance I've seen it, it's been a total disaster. Absolute disaster. So, why is that? Well, the thing is, Ottomans, when they see China, they're thinking two things. Fast fortress or fast industrial. Basically, get up quickly, get a ton of powerful units that the Chinese roster can't deal with under any circumstances, and then it's GG. Yeah. The only way China even ekes out a win against Ottomans is if they do some weird early gameplay, and you're just able to sort of outmaneuver their stuff. But if the Ottoman knows what he's doing, especially on this map, Great Plains, where your trading post is right around the corner to build as part of the build war, Ottoman has it in the bag, you know? But let's not discount him. Maybe China's figured something out. We'll have to see. I mean, they get a few decent shipments, you know. They obviously have the Manchu. They got some alright elite cavalry in H3. We'll find out. If they end up doing something, it would be pretty amazing, but I wouldn't hold my tongue just yet. Or my breath. Yeah, hold your tongue and your breath. Alright, so, yep, this is definitely going to be a fast industrial, if he can get away with it. If not, he's going for fast fortress. Plain and simple there. China, The China has built a village over here, it looks like, and they're going for tea export, it looks like. That's usually the card you start with China. It's such a great shipment because it gives you 100 export, gives you a trickle of 0.35 per second. Also gives you a consulate wagon, saving you 200 wood. And why is that important? Because, well, China likes to go with the Russian allies and grab that free blockhouse that they give you with that export. Now, it's quite powerful because not only is it a structure that has a range attack to defend the area, gives you about 5 population, but it can also train your bear armies there too. And not just the infantry ones, it trains all of them. So you can even get the cavalry related ones there too. So, yeah. Pretty neat, actually. Pretty neat what you can get away with the Chinese blockhouse. It's even more flexible than the Russian one, surprise, surprise. So, yeah. And that's exactly what he's going to do. He went with the Russian allies there. He's going to bide his time. When he gets enough export, get that blockhouse. Pretty easy recipe there. And then for a wonder, you go with Summer Palace. Gives you free bear armies over time, plus some crates of food. Can't go wrong there, you know. The only time that you don't see that is when you often see the Chinese player go with the French consulate and then they go with the porcelain tower. But in every other instance, you're going to see Summer Palace. If you're really crazy, you could try going White Pagoda with Kung Fu fighting, but we don't usually see that outside Wars Liberty these days because of the way the balance works. Alright, so getting about 25 wood. Might be time to get a market down, China. Maybe get your hunting eagles, perhaps. Looks like he already has the market, actually. It was right there, and I just saw it. I was like, wait a second. Oh, no. So that's great, then. That means you can actually get his hunting eagles now. And his water wheel, too. Water wheel for the wood chopping, and then you can get hunting eagles for the food. How convenient. Or did he already get hunting eagles? Maybe he didn't. I didn't even see it. Yeah. I get so busy yapping sometimes I don't even know what's going on. It's a dilemma you run into when you cast games. I'm sorry, I get into huge tangents and I just go like, yap about strategy, and then I'm like, oh, did he get that technology yet? Even though you probably saw it right in front of your eyes, so yeah. Alright, so while I'm in at this stage, starting with the 5 Uruks, getting steel traps, and then gonna get the 700 coin, right? Reason for that is basically gives you definitely enough food to not only propel you into H3, but possibly H4 as well, you know, because you got those 5 extra vills, plus their hunt and gather rate is soup to the maximum at that point. So yeah, it's quite good. Now, we'll see how fast their age up is and if they run into any sort of problems, right? Ottoman player making another strong move, going for trading post number 2 in the middle here. This is going to make their shipment arrivals even faster now, so if they want to go with the Royal Decree route in H4, they're going to be able to get the mosque construction and the Royal Decree in rather quick speed, you know. In the last game, you noticed that the opposing player actually got that trading post, and thus they were forced to fall back on their Safahi shipment. Still winning, of course, but not being able to win with tons of overkill like they probably would like to do. Yeah. It's like the food is reaching where it needs to. The gold needs a bit of grabbing there. The crate should satisfy that. Pushing forward with sentries? Okay. What is this? What is this? Did he click that by accident? You can't tell me that he did that on purpose. Did he really just call his sentries out? What is that, man? What is this guy doing? Really? Why would you call your sentries out? There's not even any military on the field yet. Oh, wait a second. Do these outlaws still have the cow? No, they don't. Okay. He might. Oh, he's actually using these to fight treasure guardians. Now that's interesting. I've actually seen somebody do that in Wars of Liberty. I think it's Varingo. He'll actually call his Minutemen out and have them at 1 HP to help him collect treasures. I mean, I can't say for certain if it's good, but I will say for sure in middle map Great Plains, where these huge 210 XP treasures are, it might be worth it. You know, it might be worth it in the end, because how much does the emergency thing cost? 80 food, 80 gold. It's definitely something to consider for a price, but it's not the most expensive thing. Alright, so looks like they're just trying to catch up, I think, because they know what's coming from the Ottomans at any moment. In fact, the Ottomans are already shipping in the Safahis now. You saw what they did against the Ethiopians. It's going to be a similar story against the Chinese, if not worse, you know, because at least Ethiopia has some pretty strong stuff like the Gascania. Quang pikemen are going to struggle against Safais. Yeah, I used to do a lot of ranked in Age of Empires 3D, and I could tell you both the Kijiks and the Quang pikemen of China, you need a ton of those things to go up against Safais. If you have like 2 or 3 banner armies worth, you won't make it. You're not going to make it. The splash attack and the tanky stats just lets them breeze right through them. Alright, so some step riders right here, stepping right into a dumpster fire. The sentries are completely toast. Alright, these are down. Very good. Chukunu. This is starting to look a little bit familiar to me, this game. I don't know why. I've probably seen a ton of these Ottomans games done at this point, that it's starting to grow on me a little bit, you know? Yeah, no. Definitely. So, yeah. Very cool. I just opened the chat up, by the way, too. I closed it last night because it was glitching out and stuff, and I didn't want to look at it, so... Yeah, if you want to chat anything to me while I cast this stuff, feel free to talk to me a bit and ask questions, make comments, just say hi, whatever you want. Alright, yeah, this is starting to look familiar, but it's alright. I mean, if you didn't get to see the previous streams, I guess maybe you can enjoy it again. Yeah. I know the next game is definitely a new one, though, so yeah. I think what happened is that Xbox submitted the same recording, but he called him player, and didn't put because he's probably not Chinese, so he doesn't have those letters on his keyboard, and thus he just called him player something or whatever. And that's totally fine. I mean, I didn't even think of that possibility myself. You know, I just assumed that, yeah, no. I wonder why 2 people submit the recording, though. That's, like, so insane, you know. They should coordinate with each other and make sure that they're only one person doing it, not both. If you got both people doing it, it makes it a chaotic mess, and, yeah. So we do see mosque construction coming in now. And after that, this is coming. Or at least I think it is. It should be coming in, yeah. Quite deadly, too. Yeah, because basically what happens is you get a royal decree that gives you 3 bombards. That is gigantic. They're like big boy artillery. Yeah, when it gives you some Safahis and gives them hand armor, that's even worse. Oh yeah, I remember this game. Xbox gets the Doppelsolners to fight the Safahis, and should I spoil it to you? Well, but let's just say that these guys, even though these are actually a really good anti-cav unit, they're not enough. They're not enough against these guard Safahis. Yeah, no. It's pretty insane when these big, heavy swordsmen here can't even down a guy with a mace on a horse. Yeah, no, it's crazy. And just like the last game, he's just buying his time until the extra Safahis arrive, and then he just creams whatever he's dealing with, no matter what it is. You know, he's crushing heavy infantry right now, which cavalry is not supposed to do, but Safahis can pull it off with the right numbers and micro. Yep, and then he makes his forbidden army there. That gets crushed as well. Yeah, no, Safahis are a real menace to deal with. Thankfully, you can't train them as Ottomans. You have to send them from the home city. But be forewarned, in Definitive Edition, they do actually have some cards where you can get them infinitely sent. That's one thing we did not have in the Legacy game, but they do have in Definitive Edition. If you're an Armin player, it's great because you can use them throughout the game then. But if you're the victim, ouch. Yeah. Getting the E-Moms as well to heal up these guys. I think that's a pretty solid move. Bombards. Good. Gotta get that gang sign so you can get your Nizam containing Royal Decree tech done as well. It costs all wood. And then get the one that has the Safahis. Did he send the one? No, he did not, because I don't see the hand armor on yet. Because just imagine how scary that is, adding hand armor to a Safahi. So even if you try to fight them with like pikes or muskets or something, now they tank against that too. They already tank against it, but that armor really makes them tank against it then. Yeah. It's this one right here, the Kapakulu core. Right now, you'll see the new armor value right now. Yep, 10% hand. Hand in hand. Oh, Manchu. Here comes the Manchu. This is like the best counter cavalry thing that the Chinese can pull off in H3 usually, is that big Manchu shipment. It's doing alright. I mean, he took out one Safai, but still, look at all these guys. It's very hard for him to do that because he doesn't have any source supports there, and then he's got bombards blasting them. It's really bad. And now comes the Nizams as well, so not good. It's looking like an Armin win against China again. It's been going on since the start of time, since I used to do ranked. I have never seen Ottomans doing a fast industrial losing to China. Never. I don't think even Widgie was able to do it before, because I saw him trying to grow in a ranked ladder, and he had to do it with the fast industrial Ottoman, and he couldn't do it with the Chinese. Yeah, he tried his hardest, and I commended him for, like, you know, doing hand moors and stuff and really trying to counter it, but just didn't have the stuff needed as a civ to do it. No. Which is sad, because sometimes you wish that a civ can sort of do anything, and there's just some things that a civ cannot do, which is deal with an arm and fast industrial done right. Yeah. Okay, so here comes the Flying Crow. It's going to be flying in the opposite direction soon enough. Alright. Ooh, Manchu. Manchu. Oh boy. Bombard down. Nice, nice, nice. It's a game so good we got to see it twice. A game so nice we got to see it twice. That's a good run. Big time. GG. Very good game. So good we got to see it again. Or because you don't have Chinese letters on your keyboard, son. Whichever the reason. Alright, now we're going to look at something new here. Let me scroll down here. I mean, I'll be extra paranoid with this one. Xbox versus another Chinese fella. This one's gotta be right? This one's gotta be valid. I mean, I will make sure again that this is player Chinese. What's this one? That one does not work. I wonder if that one will have the same issue. Let me scroll it down. Alright, let's see right here. Okay. This one alright? Yep. All these ones with Xbox have issues on them. I don't know why. Alright, don't worry, we got another one coming right after that. Let me scroll this down. Here we are. This was started right there. Chinese fella versus Castle. Let me check that one actually. Let me make sure. Group I. I'm just gonna check that real quick if you don't mind. So that was Castles USA and France. So, USA versus France. Let's see what this one was. Yep, just checking myself before I wreck myself. You always gotta do that. Alright, going down here. This one. Alright. Let's see. Alright, so this is a new one. Okay, so the Chinese fellow's playing as the Swedes, and Castle is playing as the Russians. So instead of a castle, he has a blockhouse. He's got the bear villager, though. I like the bear. The Russian bear there. Very nice. And this will be a pretty interesting matchup, honestly. Don't know what to expect, actually. I don't think I've ever seen 1v1 Sweden versus Russia before, so this will be a bit of a treat for me too. Alright, so Sweden building a torp right away. These torps, quite the powerful building to make. They're not just ordinary houses, by the way. So what they do is, you see this little ring around these resources, the berries, the tree, the mine? Well, that ring means that this house is actually digesting it over time, just like a parasitic worm. Yeah, the house can gather from mines, it can gather from berry bushes, it can gather from trees, it can even gather from dead animals. Yeah, dead animals, like a dead huntable. Yeah, it actually is gathering from it. Look at that. You see the little ring around the bison? It means it's actually eating the bison too. Yeah. So instead of having something like a bank that just trickles gold by itself, Sweden has something a little bit more flexible and nuanced, which is basically houses that sort of act like banks, but instead of generating the stuff themselves, they just do it from the natural resources. So you don't have to gather it with the villagers, you know? If you play Swedish right, you never have to have a villager on the mine, because the torps will do it for you. That's how powerful it is, actually. Yeah. And in particular, it's because of this card here, Engelberg Ironworks, which essentially doubles the gather rate of the gold from 0.27 up to 0.54 per second. Which is pretty significant, because if you have like 4 of these around the mine, which you can fit up to 4 when done right, essentially, you're looking at 2.1 something gold per second, and then you multiply that times 5, you can get up to like 10.6 or so gold per second with 20 torps. Very solid, very strong. Oh, most definitely. Big, big, big. And that's what you see me do a lot when I play them in the team games is I'll try to max out all the torps, and then you'll see my gold skyrocketing into the moon. Yeah. Oh, who's gonna get that? Wow. Looks like our little bear there got the XP. Our little crony bear there got the XP. Not bad at all. Good. Alright, so Thor is whacking the little crony bear with the hammer, which is not how you treat a crony bear, but it is what it is. What will Sweden age up with? The governor? Really? Really? Alright, so Russia's going quartermaster. That's more normal. 400 wood is always a good politician. Now, this one surprises me a bit. Oh, I understand. I didn't even look at the deck name. It's Fast Fortress. FF. Fast Fortress. Get it? So, he's going with the governor to get some gold crates from the age up, and then he's going to combine that with the 700 coin, and then he'll be ready to age up right away. Yeah. I've never thought of Sweden as being good with Fast Fortress before. I've always played them as sort of a tempo in H2 sort of thing, where I tried to fight them out in H2 and grow numbers of Beverangars and stuff to try to compete. That to me is pretty surprising, actually. Yeah, no. And we'll see what happens. No promises it'll work or not. We'll have to see, though. Also, went with the middle trading post, which I think is a pretty solid move. Definitely denies your opponent it. But we'll see what Russia's up to. What sort of aggression is Russia going to pull? Because, in general, whenever you see Russia in 1v1, it's going to be hard aggro, hard aggression. Just like we saw with Julian K versus Moon. I think the Julian K example was probably the strongest one that you could get. But, yeah. Team Patriarchy. Healers are cheaper and train much faster. Patriarchy? What is he saying that for? What? He might give Sweden the win by sending silly cards. Why is he going into healers? He's getting Mission Fervor to upgrade his healers. What is this? Is this a special build or something? I've never heard of this technically being done before. No. I'm a little. He was able to train up 10 healers. What do they cost now? 50 gold. Okay. So what is he doing with these priests? What is he doing with these guys? What is he gonna do with the? Is he gonna rush him with priests? Really? Is he gonna rush them with healers? Whoa, he's gonna rush him with healers. Look at that. He's actually gonna rush him with healers. Wow, wow, wow. Look at this. Look at this man. Going in for the kill with the priests. He's rushing him with holy men. Holy moly, he's rushing him with holy men. Look at that, the priests are punching the villagers. He's punching the villagers. Look at that, he's punching them. He's punching them, look at that. Boom, boom. What is this, Rocky 5? Look at that, he's boxing the villager. Imagine trying to hunt an animal and trying to get meat off the thing and you get some weird priest with red robes trying to punch you in the head. That must not be very fun. And sure enough, yeah, these villagers, yeah, take the end of your blunderbuss and butt him in the skull with it. Now that's a good way to get him to knock you off. Yeah. Wow, look at that. I can't believe what I'm seeing here. Wow. What is this? And now he's going to add in some recruits, so he's going to add some infantry in. Yeah. Okay, so he's getting the Royal Decree on the Sweden side. He's also going up with Exiled Prince. Yeah. Now, at this stage, I think the Russia might be in a bit of trouble. Because unless he gets real lucky with these priests and he downs enough... Yeah, alright. I think this is very annoying, though, I can say, because what happens is the Chinese fella has to keep garrisoning his town center. Every time the priests start punching him, it's like it literally stops him from being able to do anything meaningful with his economy. This is like crazy. And he made more priests too. Look at the priests. They're just punching all the villagers. Wow, look at that. It's crazy. That's insane. That's I did something like this with Bulgarian Wars Liberty, actually. And the reason for that was because they have a card that makes priests free. So I actually had about 10 priests running around on the map and, you know, raiding the villagers. Yeah, just like that, doing their little boxing move. Oh boy, here come the Gustavian Guards Royal Decree. That's not good. Now, you really want these priests to get cooked and smoked fast. Get a nice army of veteran halberdiers, yeah. Alright, so the halberdiers are right on top of the recruits. Recruits are getting completely melted by them, and now the priests are going to get melted too. These priests have no hand armor, so these halbs are doing a solid 28 damage per hit. And every 3 seconds, they're doing about 2 thrusts, so that's pretty significant, yeah. Alright, so the halberdiers cleaning up the priests. Yeah. The priests are running away, as they should. Alright, a 5 Hakkaplete shipment is also coming in. So, Hakkaplates with halbs. I don't think you have any defense against that at this point, because a couple of recruits is not going to be able to... Alright, so he's gotten some unstoppable Stiletsis to do some good multiplier damage. He's also shipping in about 13 unstoppable Stiletsis as well. And here we go. We'll see if this push is substantial. I mean, he's got a mass now that he can theoretically fight the Halbs. I just don't know. Well, you're definitely not sieging. That's definitely not going to happen. That's definitely not happening right now. Alright, so Sweden is raiding with Hakkapelites. What's going on there? Okay. Oh, he got a Vil. Wow. I didn't expect that. He lost a Hakkaplate though, so I can say it's good or bad. Russia just stacking infantry at this point. Oh, the Sweden got his Falconet shipping in. Does he have enough to hold off this swarm? I'm kind of scared that those priests are actually going to go after the artillery, and there's going to be so many of them that he's actually going to beat the cannons with the priests. No, he's going to do that. He's going to rush the artillery with the priests. He's going to rush it with the priests. Let's see if the priests even reach them. He's trying. Yeah. Oh, he's going into stagger mode to avoid the Halbs. Look at that. The priests actually reach the cannon and do well. Oh, they did 60 damage. They did 60 damage. But unfortunately, because this is a real game in a real world, you can't win by using priests like that. So of course they're gonna lose, right? Savalex, Jaegers, Royal Decree also came in. This basically upgrades the Jaegers a bit and changes their all gold cost to a wooden gold cost, making them a little bit more affordable if you have no coin. Kalmar Castle now. There's a fort. This will be pretty good because it basically sets it up so when you're fighting units near the fort will actually give you more kill bounty to your units. So essentially, when you kill enemy units near that fort, you'll be getting more XP from it. Yeah. Alright, so Cossacks running right into the Halbs. That's never a good thing. Well, this whole match was never a good thing to begin with. Okay. He's gonna go right on top of the blockhouse there. What a bold move. Ooh, right on top of the... Imagine if he placed it a little bit in that direction. Ugh. Yeah, that wouldn't have been good. Cossacks trying to reach the Falconets now. Still not able to... He's gonna hit them with the priests again. Priests are punching the cannons. And no priest knew how to do that sort of thing, but apparently here they do. Oh, more priests rushing the cannons again. Look at... Oh, he got one. He actually took out an artillery piece with the priest. He might get the other one down, too. Look at that. Oh, he got it. He actually got it. He actually got it with the priest and then resigned. He actually took out 2 full pieces of artillery with holy men, with their little Bibles in their hands. And then he resigned. That was a crazy match. Did you expect that one at all? Look at how many priests he made. 51? 51 priests as part of his army. Priest was the most popular unit in his army. Not how, but he had like 16 Albs. That's normal. Not 51 priests. An army of priests. An army of priests. That is crazy. Use of those priests there. Yeah. Oh, man. That was a creative strategy. I think if the person's seed was a little bit lower, he might have been able to pull something off with that. Yeah, that was pretty fun. I like that one. That was pretty grand, actually. I like that one. Hopefully we see more stuff like that here, you know? Oh yeah, no. That's what we like to see is matches of that caliber in this, thing. Oh yeah, no. That was great. Now we see Mycius take on one of these Chinese players. Hopefully it works. Yep. So the Chinese feller is going Russians. So another Russia game. And Mycius is USA. USA versus Russia. That's a pretty interesting matchup. I think so. Alright, so trading post is being built right here. That can only mean we're probably going to see a Scottish immigrant push from USA. I think against Russia it does have some strength, you know. Because the thing is, the Russia's going to be pushing you with very weak, squishy troops, like the recruit in the Unstoppable Steletsy. Very good at mass, but individually very weak. And Highlanders, they got a range attack of about 60, 63. That should definitely be enough to pound their very little HP and just clean right through them. So I think indeed going with the Scottish immigrant setup here is going to be very ideal for the US. Again, that train post is the first step of it. So that way when you go with Chinese immigrants, you're going to get a trading post rickshaw that you can put right here. Also, the levy ability will be right available to you, so you'll be able to make a rickshaw right out of the train post as well over here. And be able to put it like right here, right there, somewhere. So he's already making some progress, you know, of having 3 trading posts. If you need a bit of a review, Scottish Immigrants sends you 1 Highlander for every trading post, meeting house, and saloon that you have. So considering USA is already going to have 3 trading posts, that already means 3 Highlanders already guaranteed to you. And as time goes on, you do a few other tricks with the cards to get the rest of the things you need, and then eventually you'll have 9 to 10 Highlanders to just steamroll the opponent with. Yeah. Now, we saw a game yesterday where someone in the same position was playing USA and doing that, but the problem with them was they essentially sent the Highlanders out to die because they threw them right into some longbowmen, which was a very bad idea. And it went pretty south pretty quickly, right? Now, in this situation, if USA can get those Highlanders out very quickly and be able to basically shoot down through all the Strelets very quickly, maybe they'll do better off. Who knows? Yeah, it also depends on what the Russia's doing, because if the Russia's paying attention, they'll know that the Scottish immigrants are coming, and they'll probably get a ton of Unstoppable Steletsis for that. So we'll see how on top of his game is, because if he's not and he's just going to be a slowpoke, the Highlanders are going to take the win there. Yeah, big time. 100%. Alright, so Quartermaster for the Russians, 400 wood. For USA side, Pennsylvania, that's a good choice because they actually have a good card that gives you a +1 build limit to your meeting houses, which is one of the necessary buildings that can get you more Scottish Highlanders out of that card, so that's good. And then, yeah, here we go. Okay, so first saloon is being constructed right now. And this is the other card he's going to make use of too, most likely. Arkansas Post. Arkansas Post gives you 3 trading post wagons that can also be made to be constructed into saloons, actually, which is pretty cool. Yeah, basically. Because funny enough, this card will give you 1 Highlander for a saloon, meeting house, or trading post. And this card actually helps you a lot because it allows those trading post wagons to build all the same buildings you need for this. So it's quite nice. Yeah. Going with Philadelphia Convention first to get a meeting house. That will, at this stage, allow Mycius to get up to 5 Highlanders, because he's got 3 trading posts, he's got a saloon, and he's going to have a meeting house. Now, question is he going to try to take one of these as well? We'll see. If he does, then, yeah, that's going to add to the stack as well, yeah. Oh, it looks like he just used this too. Alright, very nice. Okay, so he's building the trading post over there right now. That'll be structure number 6. Going with the Pennsylvania Pound now as well to get a gold trickle. Very helpful here. Arkansas Post is coming in. He's gonna build about 2 saloons, probably in the meeting house. That's my guess.
Orders?
He's gonna put them right here. Saloon 1.
Yes.
Meeting house, and then Saloon 3. Yeah, Saloon 1, Saloon 2, and Saloon 3. So he's got 5 structures here. So 5 Highlanders. Highlander 6, Highlander 7, Highlander 8, Highlander 9, and then Highlander 10 right here. Yeah. Okay, so Russia's being very smart. He's sending the polar chicks and the recruits right after this TP here, so he can try to knock out one of the potential Highlanders that he has to deal with, right? And he will be able to do it too, because he was right on his feet. That'll be quite good for him. So, yep, now this drops down to 9 Highlanders. Still very good, still almost peak, right? So USA is going to be training Hussars with the Highlanders, so they're going to have a bit of anti-skirmisher in there, right? But I think in this situation, Highlanders are going to have an advantage, because the Highlanders can just kite the Portuguese, and then they'll one-on-one beat these recruits just fine. Okay, so the Hussars are actually going to do a bit of raiding at the same time, so that's quite good. So here comes the 9 Highlanders ready to go with their 63 range attack and 400 HP. So here are the unstoppable Strelitzes. These are going to be the biggest threat to your Highlanders. Yep, see what they do with those multipliers? Quite dangerous. That's why the Hussars are here. Now, it's going to be a real nasty mess here, because these Portuguese can just go like zoom in right like that and shove off your Hussars like that. And very bad stuff. Let's see. Look at the, yep, swooping right around the angle there. I think that was pretty neat. Gets a Strelitzi. Yep, injure that one. Putting the poor chick into cover mode and try to stall. Highlanders beating all these units just fine. Also some Minutemen being called in too to try to back him up. He pulls back this one because this one's almost deceased. So he wants to bring him back and let him fight to live another day. Very nice. Cossacks will take out this ville very easily. More recruits coming in. So what will happen now? So USA will send in some of the Seminole Sharktooth Bowmen here. Very nice. And then batch in another Hussar there. Also getting hunting dogs too, that's important. That means that the hunting rate will be a bit improved there. Actually, thanks to this card, Hamiltonian Economics, you'll actually be able to refund yourself all of the market text that you research now. So you'll be able to get that wood and gold back later. So it actually is a good idea to get market text as USA with that card, because even if you're losing those resources now to research them, you'll be able to get it back a little bit later, which is very nice. Yeah. Alright, Cossacks going in on the Sharktooth Bowmen there, trying to root those ones out. But the Hussars are trying to divide the attention of the Cossacks on that position. Okay, Okay, so how much troops does USA have? Do they have enough to beat these recruits down, these unstoppable Steletzis? Yes, they do, because the Hussars are still there. They'll clean them up. And yeah, see, this is a good setup for USA. They got, how many Highlanders still? They got, let's see, am I wrong? So they got one Highlander left. I was like, wait a second, I thought he had more. No. But because he has so many other troops like the Hussars and the Archers, he was basically able to win that one pretty easily there. The Russia's basically on his heels. He does not have enough wood to build another blockhouse, so that is a win for USA in that matchup. Quite a good demonstration of how a Scottish immigrant rush is supposed to go. You know, we've seen some failed ones before, but that was a successful one. That's a good example of a successful use of the Scottish immigrants card of the USA. So now we'll go into the next one. Let's find out what we got here. Do some scrolling. Look. So the one we're doing now is this one. Record game. Let's check what that one is. Ooh, look at this. So we got Feferon as Ethiopia, and then the opponent is running USA. So we got USA versus Ethiopia here. I'm actually kind of interested in this one, because if we're dealing with another Scottish immigrant setup again, we'll see how they do against the Ethiopians. But no guarantee that that's what they're going to do. They could totally be going for something completely different. So Feferon says good luck. It's always a nice thing to say. Okay, so USA Explorer, is he going for the TP or yeah, he is going in that direction. Yes. Okay, so we might be seeing Scottish immigrants be used here again, because that critical trading post as part of the build order is going up. So we'll have to be on the lookout for that. Meanwhile, we'll just take a quick check at Ethiopia and see what they're planning. Right now, it's hard to say. Right now, they're just doing all the basic stuff, getting their granary up for the extra gather rate on the animals, selling off one of their cattle at the livestock market to build a house. Pretty standard stuff there that you would always do with Ethiopia. We'll have to look at the home city to see if there's any cards that pop out to us as being interesting. And then we'll figure out exactly, can the Ethiopian roster handle a batch of 9 to 10 Highlanders? That's a good question. We'll have to see. It will depend too if the USA player knows what he's doing and he can actually facilitate all 10 of those Highlanders in a good order, you know? Yeah. And going with the Trendy card first to get some villagers and the Abun priests to help with the Mound Monastery gathering. So, what do we got here? We got Ormo Migrations. This is a good card if you lose villagers, basically. You got Temenyas. Neftanyas can be trained in age 2 and gives all gunpowder infantry 5% damage increase. Maybe we'll see. You know what? If he goes Temenyas against the Highlanders, that would actually be a very successful strategy there. So we'll see if he ends up using this card, because this is essentially Ethiopia's version of early skirmishers that the French have. So we'll see if that ends up actually happening. If it does, I'll be pretty impressed. Color me impressed if they actually end up countering them that way. We'll find out though. We'll find out. Looks like he sold off another cow as well to build the Mound Monastery up and get his Abun to work on it. Pretty reasonable choice. Right now has it on the all gold mode, so not collecting any influence currently. Going with the Habesha Alliance, looks like. You'll say go in Pennsylvania again. Yes, this is indeed a Scottish immigrant setup. You got your advanced saloon here to increase the build limit on the saloons. One of the 3 buildings that you would use to up your Scottish immigrant card. You got your Arkansas trading post again. And what else you got? Yep, pretty much all the necessary recipes for that. Dutch immigrants there. Oh, Dutch immigrants. That's a bit of a deviation, going for the bank wagon. Yeah, definitely. Definitely a bit strange there. Got a nice saloon there now, looks like. Yep. Alright, the bank's coming in now. Then gonna go for the convention in Philadelphia there, right? Philadelphia Convention to get a meeting house. As of right now, it looks like the USA has 4 Scottish Highlanders secured with a trading post up here. And let me get my other hand free. Got a trading post here, trading post there. You got a trading post here, actually. You got a saloon here. And then you're going to have a meeting house. So you got 5 Scottish immigrant buildings secured. You just need 5 more to get all 10 Highlanders out of the card. Let's see if he can somehow make it work and get all of those, basically. Yeah, we'll find out. Advanced saloon is coming active. Very good. Pennsylvania pound coming in too. The nice gold trickle there. One important thing to note, if you do send Pennsylvania pound, it does reduce your mining rate, by the way, so you have to be careful of it. It does give you a good gold trickle, but the mining rate will be hindered. Training a spy from the church there to counter the explorer, it looks like. Kind of an interesting choice. I didn't quite expect that, but we'll see if that ends up helping her or not. Yep, here comes the spy to take out that explorer right now. Ooh, nice. Very good. Looks like the Ethiopia's coming in very strong. Oh, wow, look at this. He plopped down 2 war camps right on top of that trading post there to make it pretty clear that he's not going to let this thing manifest. The USA is forced to make some owl hoots to get these Gasconias out of his base. But we'll see if that ends up being enough. It should be enough, because as soon as those owl hoots come out of the saloon, he is going to be able to run their buckshot charge attack right on these guys, and they'll go flying in 20 different directions. Okay, so the owl hoots are here. Yep, right now. Yep, easy cleanup. So you're going to get 2 saloons, right, and probably another meeting house, right? Yep.
Orders?
Oh, he's gonna go for a TP. He's going straight up for a TP. Okay, that's pretty reasonable. So you got 4 structures here, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think he's got 9 secured at this point. Yeah, he's also gonna make some gunslingers too. I think is pretty good. The Ethiopia should be taking this out, this one at least, and if he can, this one, because now, yeah, looks. Oh, he's got 8. 8 is still pretty good. 8 Highlanders out of that card is still pretty good. Because he's going to have it with the gunslingers as well and the owl hoots, so yeah, pretty formidable situation to say the least, yeah. Alright, now he's got up to 9, yeah, now we're talking about some serious stuff there, yeah. Strategically, the USA pulls back his owl hoots so the Chotel warriors don't slice and dice them, which I think is a great idea. And then they'll arrive back around the time that the Highlanders come out. And then you're going to have a real serious force of troops here. I don't think the Gasconias can deal with Highlanders that well. No. Especially when they're backed up by these strong outlaw units with their own charge attacks. Off to a good start there, chasing away the enemy army. Are we going to see Temenyas be used here to counteract those Highlanders? I think you should consider that. If you don't go with that, I'll be a little concerned, because you really need a strong skirmisher to deal with these Highlanders, and you unfortunately don't get it any other way as Ethiopia, unless you align with the Portuguese and get the Bestieros from your palace, or your native embassy. Yeah, that's the only way I can see you get around that pretty much. Yeah. Okay, so he is going with Temeñas, so he's going for the early Naftañas to counteract all this heavy infantry. I think that's a pretty solid idea. And he's going to try his best to counteract this thing. Yeah, oh wow, yeah, look. He's not even going to have a place to train those Naftañas, sadly. Looks like he... Oh wow, the USA is even sending his other technologies from the Philadelphia Convention as well. Including the one that gives him some early carbine cavalry too. So it's going to do that. He could even send the one that gives him some early sharpshooters as well. Depends on what he wants, obviously, yeah. More camp going down right now. Yeah, just not enough time for the Ethiopian to react to those Highlanders, I guess. Yeah, no. Oh wait, he has a war camp down there too, and he's actually doing some Britannias out of it right now. Alright, so let's see how these guys do. Are they going to be enough, or what? Sadly, nope, because there's too few of them. Very unfortunate, yeah. Big time. Alright, let's check out some more. Let's see another one. Load, load, load. Here we go. So far, so good with these games. I'm quite impressed. This just shows you how many recordings we still have to do here, man. It's crazy. Yeah, I know. It's insane. Now we're going to look at Cuter Boy versus Mystery. Let's see what this one is. It's going to be a total mystery. Alright, so Cuter Boy is the Ottomans, and the Chinese fella's playing as Mexico. Very, very fascinating. So, let's see if we get some sort of Mexico revolt, which we're probably going to get here. That's what I'm assuming. And if that's enough to actually beat the Ottomans, yeah. Is it me or is this mouse moving very quickly here? Yeah, might just be me moving my fingers too fast. Who knows? But alright, here we are anyways. Ottomans sticking to the standard build order of a trading post, mosque, and house. Obviously, they're going to get a ton of early shipments out of that because of how much XP that's going to roll in. The Mexico is building a trading post of their own mid-map there on the trade route. Quite significant. And we're going to have to check their deck to see sort of what their strategy is. Yeah. Because I know most certainly in this situation, the Ottomans are going to strongly consider going for some sort of early attack, I think. With double barracks Janissary or a Janissary Abbas setup, but we'll see. Looks like Comanche is captured there. And I'm just looking at some minor details here and trying to figure it out. So it looks like the Ottoman does go with your rooks first. So not going for the straight up naked fast fortress indicator card there, capitalism right away. Notice how the deck is called 1v1 land, Cav Archer Abyss. So that means most likely this guy wants to go for a fast fortress and go Cav Archer Abyss. If he's forced not to do that, that could be pretty scary, but we'll see. We'll see what the plan is in the end here. Big time. I think if the Mexico can go for a crazy revolt, that could completely throw him off his heels, and that could probably grant him a win. But we'll see. Advance trading posts. Interesting. So that's telling me something very important. That's actually telling me that this Mexico is actually going to likely go for a Baja California revolt and try to go for the trade monopoly ability that they give you access to there early. So let's see what that's all about. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe he's just grabbing it for native sites. Who knows? Still a lot in the air. So he's going with Texacala. It's kind of the... yeah, I think everybody goes for Texacala. I don't think anybody goes for anything else from Mexico, if I recall correctly. Nah, I really don't think anyone ever considers any of the other ones from Mexico personally. But we'll see how this goes. Yeah. Alright. Ottoman's going with hunting dogs, it looks like now. Did they get capital? Yep, they did get the capitalism card, actually. So they might still be going for a fast fortress of some kind. Whether it's a straight up one, or they're just getting the gold trickle ready for it. We'll be seeing. And villagers picking up the wood, it looks like now. And then shipping in 5 Uruks, right? 5 Uruks. Yeah, this to me is saying maybe shifting towards more H2 gameplay, personally, but who knows. Yeah. Alright, so this guy is definitely going with the revolt, because look at this man's villagers. He's got them all on gold. This means that he is setting up his build order to essentially take all of his villagers and stick them on the one resource until he gets what he wants, and then doing the same with the other one. Yeah, no, he's definitely revolting into something. It's most likely going to be a Baja California one. I guarantee you. He's going to go for that trade monopoly. Yeah. Alright, so the Ottoman does get barracks to pop out some Janissaries. Let's see what his next card's going to be. My guess is, if he thinks that a monopoly is coming, he's going to go for the delis probably and just try to rush out the Mexico. Yep, Baja California, right? Baja California, see, yep. See, senor. Baja California. Alright, so all these villages are going to turn into filibusters. Very powerful heavy infantry. He's going to get 3 frontier post wagons there to start building stuff with. Alright, so this TP is going up here. It's got a TP building here, one going over there. One over here. He's going to get as many trading posts as he can get, and then he's going to go for that trade monopoly card. Alright, he's getting a robber barons now. This is a early factory, so he's going to have a bit more resources coming in from that factory too. Okay, so the Ottoman knows what's happening. He's already started getting his Janissaries prepared to take out these trading posts before it's too late. Okay, so he's going to go for the factory, and then he's going to get gold. Foreign investment sticks 600 gold directly into your inventory, so you don't even need bills to pick it up. It's quite good. And he does have a saloon here, so he can make some of his outlaws some of his banditos. Juanito, bandito. Yeah. Essentially, these outlaws, they're pretty good because statistically they start out with the stats of a renegado, but then they get a charged attack where they throw a stick of dynamite, which acts as sort of like a grenadier type explosive and thus does a lot of damage. Yeah, it's quite powerful.
I'm ready.
Los ángeles me han regresado a la vida.
Looks like that filibuster was isolated and got wiped out pretty quickly. Also going to be making some cuatreros as well. Cuatreros. These are basically like a Comanchero, but they have a charge attack where they throw a lasso at the enemy, doing some splash damage. Provocation. Really? You set wrong mode.
What is your command?
Right? What happened? What happened, man? What happened, dude? Oi. Oh, I can't. Oh no! He set the wrong mode, so now we can't do the trade monopoly. Oh man.
What is your command?
Oh no. Whoa. It's not classic mode, I didn't know. That's... Re? Yeah, you better re now. Oh no. That's horrible, man. That's so bad. You just... No, I'll let you win. That is... You know... That's scary. The guy accidentally set the wrong game mode. Classic mode, which, you know what that does? It denies you from getting trade monopoly wins. And thus... This guy couldn't go for the trade monopoly because he was literally denied the opportunity to in that mode. And basically the guy said, hey, do you want to do a re? And the guy said, you know what? I have to give you the win now because now you know what I'm doing. And he's literally going to hard counter him the next time there. That is so bad. That is so bad. That is so horrible. He should have just rematched him with a different civ. No, that's horrible. Like, I feel really bad for the Chinese fella there because he had a really strong strategy in mind, and the guy literally messed up the whole thing because he picked the wrong game mode to host the lobby, and that is like really sad. You should shed a tear for that man, because he was going to show us something really cool, and nope, that's not good. Definitely not good. Scrolling very quickly. Almost there. Almost there. Baja teacher versus Ikoda. Ikoda. Is that how you pronounce it? Ikoda. We'll find out. Ikoda. Ikoda. Oh, I'm getting a tongue twister now. But anyways, Baja teacher, another Ottoman player we've seen during this tournament. Boy, there were so many of them. Going up against an Italian here, Ikoda. So Italy gets a really cool villager called the Architect, and he gets to build stuff for free. No kidding, he gets to construct buildings for free. Any building you want, actually. A town center, a basilica, basically a big giant church, whatever you want. But the problem is, it takes forever to do, because the build time is super slow, so the only way you can actually speed it up is by using the finished construction ability to essentially cough up the rest of the building costs that hasn't already been built yet, and then the architect will build it at normal speed. Yeah. And really, when playing Italians, it's all about timing that out to the point that you try to save as much wood as you can without hindering your progress by waiting too long to build destruction, right? Because if you take too long and you just decide, you know what, I don't want to pay any wood for buildings anymore and I want them all for free, you're not going to be able to build your infrastructure fast enough and you're going to lose. So you get to balance between getting the building done in a time that is reasonable and not, basically. Yeah. So there's a reason why this Italy player is queuing up all of these market technologies. Essentially, with the Italians, you get a free villager with every technology that you research. So if you can get all of the food costing market techs done, and then hunting dogs, and then gang saw, and then place your mine there, essentially get all of the market techs done, you're gonna get yourself a nice 5 free villagers. Yeah. Italy doesn't actually get any villager cards for that reason, because essentially they get extra villagers through technologies, effectively saving you having to add in all those villager cards, which is quite nice. Right, so typically the Italy is going to start with a capitalism trickle, because that's the next best thing. And usually, depending on what their strategy is, they're going to time this card out, which is advanced politicians, which makes your next age up super fast, and it makes all future politicians have bigger bonuses. Yeah, quite significant. I like how this architect has his house wall established, and as long as the player doesn't have to rush to get some population quick, he's going to save on all that wood of these houses, which is quite nice. And what's the deck? Well, I don't know the deck because it's in Chinese, but in general, we can kind of make a conjecture of what the plan is. So, we do see some powerful H2 plays here with these cards. We got a Hoop Thrower, Hospitalier, Inquisitor combo. We got a Krabat, Schiavone one. And then we got a Papa Lancer Stratia one. Quite nice, actually. I don't know if he's going to stick around in Age 2 and use all those, or is he going to try to get to Age 3 and pop out the Falconettes? That's a good question, actually. We'll have to find out now. Yep, and I should mention to you too, also with Italy, you'd get access to the market technologies in Age early as well, so you can actually research your steel traps early and get that extra villager right away, which you saw this Italy do right now, which is quite good. Looks like Italy will go with the governor there, so they're going to get a tower and some gold. Should set them up pretty nicely for the Age 2 there, and the combat, yes. Queuing up another architect, I see, to maximize construction. Not a bad idea. Typically in my games, I normally don't go for more than one architect, so that might be some aspect I never considered before to optimize the construction of stuff. Going for 700 wood now to help with infrastructure at this point, because at this stage, because Ottomans are also in Age 2, you're going to have to make sure you finish your constructions very quickly. And have to have that wood there still. Ottoman, however, is going double barracks Jan, a very powerful push. Essentially, you're going for a brute force, utilizing the high hit points on the Janissaries to go for a very effective musketeer push that you normally can't do with other civs. So yeah, basically some pretty huge raw stats there on the field. Looks like the Ottoman player's now going to get wood, it looks like. 700 wood. And we'll most definitely see these unit shipments used as well at some point, so just be on the lookout for that probably, right? Yeah, definitely. Alright, so Janissary is going in for a push now, looks like. Very nice. Catching Italy a bit off guard. He's actually going to get some kill XP too from these unfinished houses, which is quite convenient. Italian musketeers, though, to meet the Janissaries. Looks like Turks are definitely going to back off at least, so they don't have to deal with the TC fire. You know, looks like they actually retreat out now, which is kind of interesting, yeah. Going for the second batch of Janissaries here. Very good.
Hazır.
Third batch of Janissaries is done now. Might be enough to go in for a push right now. Oh, so he sent in his Maltese unit badge there. So he's got the splash attack swordsman, the hoops. He's got a couple of inquisitors too to do some crush damage. Very interesting. So this Ottoman player is no slouch. He's actually kiting very well. He's actually using his explorer to snare the melee units, allowing him to get shot easier by the Janissaries. That was some good micro by the Ottoman player actually. Hoop throwers are going to be the biggest threat here though, and pose some big damage with their splash attack. You can see right there, they even have a bit of an anti-musketeer multiplier too, so yeah, that aspect's gonna make these hoops pretty dangerous. Fun fact, in the actual campaign, the hoop throwers in that actually have hidden multipliers against the Janissary unit. But in this instance, obviously they don't have that because that would be super OP and insane. Yeah. Looks like the Italy has sent in a shipment of Pavasiers as well to help defend. Yeah, this Italy is not doing too good in resources right now. He's kind of being pushed pretty hard to his limits. Again, a musketeer shipment as well, 6. The Ottoman smartly is going for an H3 with Exiled Prince, so he can go for a quick shipment of the Falconets most likely, and finish off the Italy opponent very swiftly. What's going on over here? Oh, the Italy did some Hussar raiding. Wow, impressive. Gotta stay. Where's the stable at? Right there. Wow. Didn't even see that coming. Yeah, no. It's like the Italy's trying to do everything he can to bide himself some time and recover a bit.
Gemi ödediğiniz için teşekkürler.
Here comes 2 Falconets with 37 Janissaries. Quite a formidable army there. Yeah, no, this Italy doesn't have any defense against the Falks with Janissaries combo. Definitely not. Still has Hussars, but they're going to be kind of over there when the Falconets arrive, which is not good. And even if they do get back, the Jans will just smother them and protect them very quickly. Oh man, look at that. That's crazy. Insane. Here comes the Hussars right out of the gate to attack the Falconets. But yeah, just like I said, Janissaries in such big mass now, they can just move freely to protect these cannons. Mace or threat. GG. Well played. Very nice. Alright, let's go on to the next one now. Scroll up until we find it. Koboni versus I Am Turk. Let's see how this one is. Alright, so Carbone is playing as British, and then I Am Turk is the French. Should be a pretty interesting matchup.
Yes.
It all depends sort of on how the French handles the match, I think, personally. So it looks like French is going to be playing standard build order there with the trading posts, possibly going for fast fortress, but we'll see. That will give them a pretty good military to fight the British Marabou. Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. Pretty much in this situation, the best thing France can do, go for a fast fortress, get some skirmishers out and fight whatever the British got, basically. Yeah. On the other hand, the Brits, they're going to likely go for a lot of greedy economy, getting tons of manors out, boosting up that economy with the extra villagers, and then going for huge swarms of muskets, basically, like they usually do in a 1v1. I have Treasurer's France again here. E5 wood. Pretty good, actually. And that will actually help the French out quite a bit, because in the whole French fast fortress build order, they basically try to get a ton of marketechs, you know, the hunting dogs, placer mines, and even steel traps. So the France can set up pretty good by getting that A5 wood there. It'll give them a pretty distinct advantage. What's this treasury's getting as well? Oh, it's being contested. Or is it? No, it's not. It's got the Nav Scout there to help him out, though. 110 food. That's big. That's going to definitely bump him towards a quick age up, yeah. Look at that. Only 50 away from 800. Solid. Big time solid, yeah. He's going to be going up with Core Master Foreign Wood. Brits shipping in their 3 villages now. They are getting pretty close to aging up themselves. Going up with the Governor. Yeah, Governor is most certainly always going to be your British age up choice. Gives you some gold and gives you a tower. Basically the gold is always going to be good because you can put that right into musketeer production, which you normally do as the Brits. Also, that tower will absolutely protect your extra settlers as well. Would hurt if you did all that wood investment into manor houses for free vills for them to only get raided, so having the tower is always nice for that purpose. Brits are going to get a market now, which they usually do to particularly get the wood chopping upgrade gang saw, and also hunting dogs usually as well. Looks like French explorers in pursuit. Unfortunately, due to this enemy explorer's snare attack, slowing him down and allow himself to keep getting damaged. Brit is going 700 wood to help build military as well as get some more manor houses to boost their economy even further with even more free villagers. Yeah, it's pretty convenient how simply the British mechanic of build a manor house and get a free settler allows them to get 20 villagers ahead if they can accumulate enough wood to do so very quickly. Which is always a strong suit for the Brits because it allows them to go double barracks, even add a stabling, with very little concern once their economy is well rounded out. Looks like the British is actually going to start musketeer pushing right now, but well, that's why you see the steel traps coming in, just so they have enough food to maintain musket production here. Yeah. The France will be going musketeer as well to counter the Brits, it looks like. Looks like the first batch of French muskets actually already came out. And they are going to down a British villager. Wow. Scary. Scary. Yeah. Lucky thing they don't know about these ones here to start targeting. But they'll probably need a little bit more numbers to one-shot a villager, though. Pretty much. Yeah, definitely. Alright, the France is now going for the 700 gold, right? Yep. Right there they go. Ready to respond to the French musket threat now. Yeah. Go in 600 wood now on the Brit side. Yeah, definitely it looks like the France is going to go for a semi-fast fortress there now. They've done a few muskets, they're going to go for that age up with the exiled prince, right? Super fast and efficient so that they can start out right away by shipping 8 skirmishers most likely to counter the muskets. That's going to be the strategy there pretty much, and it's going to be quite good. Yeah. Because unfortunately, Brits don't get a 3 Hussar card in their home city. set of options, so they can't actually counteract skirmishers right away with the HC segments. So they're actually forced to get a stable and train their own hussars, which is not good when it comes to dealing with such a powerful advantage that the skirmishers have against H2 units. Going for the falconets first. Okay. I can see that working. Going for veteran musket too, I'm assuming. Yep, going veteran musket to protect those cannons. Looks like. Yeah, the Brits on the other hand are stacking muskets quite well, and they did send their longbow card in there. So they have a few longbowmen to join their muskets and do some good multiplayer damage against heavy infantry and light cavalry classes.
Wait.
Carboni definitely looking for an angle to get some snipes on those cannons. He's gonna just run right in and see what he can do there. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy, the French just lost their falconets. That's not good. Such a critical loss. But it looks like they're going to make up for it by both training and shipping in some skirmishers. Yeah. I think once these skirmishers are established, they're going to be a little bit better against those longbows, just because they're good range. 20 range, of course, is always going to be good for an AoE 3 unit. Alright, so where are we at here? We got Longbowman, Hussar, Musket versus Skirmisher, Dragoon. Interesting. So, once you get to Dragoon, Skirmisher as France in H3, it becomes a pretty good uphill battle for the Brits. Because though the Brits have a lot of numbers, statistically for the most part they're a bit underhanded here to deal with this. Straight up, the skirmishers should be able to beat the unupgraded longbowmen. But then the Hussars are going to try to interfere, and that's where the Dragoons come in with their range anti-cavalry attack. They'll be able to pop off some of these Hussars, hopefully, and let the skirmishers grind the British infantry. But it seems like with so much Hussar pressure here, the Brits are able to close the gap, which I think is a really neat thing, because once the Brits can close the gap, and even be able to use their muskets to shoot these skirmishers, then that skirmisher range and damage specialty becomes less and less important, because then the muskets can go in there and get some better trades, while their longbow in the back are providing support with their rate of fire improvement. Three cuirassier shipment coming in now for the French. That will provide some much needed splash damage onto the field for mostly dealing with the infantry threat. Alright, so the longbowmen should be able to get some good rate of fire in there against the skirms, it looks like. But then again, the skirmishers do more overall damage and HP stats, so yeah, forces French off. Wonder when those Hussars will come in to start disrupting their position too. Looks like he also queued up 4 cuirassiers of his own, so he's got a big army of those there, yeah, to fight those skirmishers especially. Let's see how these cuirassiers end up doing. Are they going to be able to connect to the longbows or not? And how mixed did the musketeers get to prevent the longbowmen from being picked off easily here? That'll be seen. Curious, is the Brady even aging up, or no, not yet, just providing maximum pressure. I think that's probably the best play to do, yeah. France is continuing with skirmisher and cuirassier, looking for that big beefy unit to down the longbowmen with.
J'ai repris des forces.
Nice dodge of the musketeers there for the most part. Oh wow, using the distraction on the explorer to get a quick nab at the muskets. That was pretty cheeky there by the French player. I like that a lot.
Je suis blessé. Je ne peux pas
Doesn't
bouger.
quite have enough to go after the longbowman though, sadly. So it's gonna have to stall that out a bit more. Using the dragoons to try to pick off the hussars and let the CBDs escape. Sacrifices one cuirassier to stop the pursuing muskets, it looks like, yeah. Wonder where the final battle's gonna occur here. Probably towards the... Ooh, wait a second. Look at these hussars going after those CBDs. That's not good. Really not good at all. Glissez in a good position to connect to these longbowmen. Let's see if they can inflict any losses. They're inflicting a few. Looks like the momentum is moving in the Brits' favor, I think, because they're just able to supply these armies constantly with their infinite economy, thanks to the manor booming method. Yeah. Look at all those vills going down. That is horrible. That's like a score destroy. Look at the scores right now. It's like Carbone has like more than double the score he does. That's insane. What a loss there at the end. No. Yeah, that's sort of what the French British dichotomy is in a 1v1. Essentially, the French are trying to get to H3 and get all their elite troops, while the Brits focus on manor booming effectively while applying pressure and then eventually just overwhelming the armies of the French, basically, with their huge numbers. And that being said, longbowmen, even though they're an age behind, are not weak. You know, they actually got a rate of fire of 1.5, so they actually shoot twice per second. So what's their range attack at? Like 16? Skirmishers at 18. Consider the longbowman is technically doing 32 damage per 3-second volley because it's shooting 2 arrows instead of 1. Something you never really thought of, did you? No. That's sort of how archers really, when you got good ones, can really do good in AoE 3 more than the gun counterparts can. So, yeah. Alright, it looks like people are starting to fall asleep. We're down to 1 viewer right now. I'm starting to fall asleep too. I notice I'm getting a little bit drowsy as well, so I'm going to probably cancel the rest of the stream here. And we will start to stream some more games on Sunday night too, so stay tuned for that. And whatever plans I have for Monday. Tuesday, we're absolutely doing the Macedon DLC for AoE 2, so don't worry about that. But yeah. Thank you for coming for this small set of games I did tonight. Hopefully we'll get to do a small batch tomorrow night. And if we're really lucky, maybe need only one more big stream to get the rest of them done. So yeah, signing off now. See you tomorrow night for some more casted PK tournament matches.